Well, hello there, folks. How's it going today? I hope you're all doing really good. Well, we have an interesting one on the bench today. This is a Tokai 38 special. This belongs to a friend. He just recently acquired this. It's in remarkable condition. It really is. This is pretty much unplayed. Uh, no scratches or anything. It's really clean. Got a cool color too, kind of like a candy red. I'm not sure what's going on with the pickups. They're not actives. I'm guessing this is 80s, and must have been around the time when lace sensors were popular or something. You see these from time to time. It's got a three-way switch, volume and a tone. The neck's in really great shapes, nice and straight. It did have some high frets, so I've been working on that a little bit this morning and just trying to get the neck straightened out. I did have to use a sanding beam to level them. There was a bunch of high frets. So what I'd like to just actually go over a little bit today is this. When you get a guitar in that has high frets, the first thing I like to do is take a fret hammer. Don't use a regular one. Get a fret hammer. And I'll try pounding these down, okay? And I'll go through the whole entire fretboard and drive every one of them down, usually like 5 hits. It'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4, whatever pattern you come up with. But I give them a good hit with a hammer and try to drive them down. If they're glued in, they may not go down, so you could always take a soldering iron, heat the fret wire up first, and try driving it down. It's kind of tedious, but that can save you a lot of sanding and leveling, crowning, and that sort of thing. So I think it's a good practice to do that first. Sometimes they're just not driven down in there correctly. So once you've done that, you take your fret rocker, which I have somewhere here. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. You can get these quite cheap. You could use a credit card even, but I do recommend getting one of these. So it's got different sides on it. So as you go up the fretboard, the frets get closer together. So eventually you have to start using the different sides. What you're looking for is to span 3 frets only, okay? So I'll check them on the edges, go across, and even in the middle, you can hear that. That second fret's high in the middle. It's down on the ends, but high in the middle. I like to check all the way across, check the whole fretboard. What I'll do is this. If there's just one that's high, I'll file that one down individually if it won't go down with the fret hammer. And that will save you from using a sanding block to re-level the whole fretboard. You want to make sure your neck is perfectly straight when you do this as well. You don't want to be sanding with forward bow and filing all the play wear off the frets on the each end and not really getting the middle, or vice versa. If it's got back bow, you don't want to sand these frets down and not take any off these, because eventually you'll end up refretting the guitar because you're sanding so much away. So in any case, that's kind of my procedure. Now this only has a few high frets, so I'm not going to sand the whole thing. But if I was, I would start with my four-sided sanding beam. You want something that's going to spread and cover a bunch of frets at the same time. I usually start with the back and forth motion, and then I'll keep checking it with the fret rocker and see if they're coming down. And then I like to take and stand it up and go in this direction after. Now what that does, it takes the striations out of the fret wire from going in this direction. You can cut them down quicker this way. And this just kind of smooths everything up a little bit before you recrown it. Now I'm not using a ton of pressure here. you'll feel some kind of dry spots on there as well. So you want to concentrate on those and keep track of where you are so you're not sanding, double on just 2 frets or whatever. So just kind of, keep that in mind. So after I sanded these ones, I would jump up to here, sand these ones, then I'd jump up to here and do those ones, okay? So that kind of spaces everything out equally, and you're not taking more off this or in the middle or what have you. So once that's done, it's usually recrowning. I'll check it as long as they rock out with a fret rocker and there's no more high frets. I'll take a crowning file. I'm using an inexpensive one here today. I do have a nice Baroque file that I use, but in the videos, I think it's best probably just to use an inexpensive one because that's what the average person is probably going to have. You can get these about anywhere too. So they're two-sided. One side has a little bit more crown to it than the other, okay? So you just want to make sure that you're holding it straight. And when you do this, you're going to feel a lot of bumps, resistance, and that kind of stuff. So I usually just do it until it feels nice and smooth. I don't put a ton of pressure on. I'm just trying to take some off each side and leave the middle so it's just got a nice peak to it like a crown. You don't want the top of the fret wire flat because it will buzz. So I'll do that. I'll make that motion all the way across the entire fretboard. I'll check it with a fret rocker again to make sure. And then it usually, ends up being just some micro mesh pads after that. Now I usually start with 1,000 grit, and when I'm down on this end of the fretboard, I try to span 2 frets. A lot of times I'll put my fingers over the fret wire itself, so that way I'm not damaging the fretboard or scratching it or anything. Now you can tape these off too. I do recommend that if you've never done this, tape those off. If you're working on someone else's guitar especially, you don't want to scuff up the fretboard. So I'll work on those 2 frets. Again, you're going to feel some resistance and eventually it'll get smooth. I'll jump to the next 2, hit those, and just keep repeating the process. Now if you feel any sharp ends out here, sometimes I'll just touch the edges of that, very easy, just to make sure they're not sharp. And again, just repeat those steps. And then I like to take a fret eraser at the end of it, same thing. I'll span a couple frets down here. When I'm up here, I just let it span whatever frets it will. Go back and forth. And that will shine those tops of those frets up just like a mirror. Now, you can get these fret erasers about anywhere too. They come in different grits. See, 180, 400, and 1,000. And, you can just do those in steps as well. And, until you get to 1,000. They even make more finer grit fret erasers too. So you can keep going, up to, I think 2,000, 3,000, I think they make them. And eventually, like I said, that will give you a nice shine on the top where the crown is. Then I take my fingernail, my thumbnail, and I go across every piece of fret wire. Make sure there's no dings, no nicks, no rough spots. Because when you bend a note, you don't want it to feel dry. You want that smooth so it bends real nice. And that's pretty much my approach. Once I get them all smoothed up and I know there's no nicks or dings, there's no scratchy spots here and there. Now I can feel a little bit of a rough spot right there, so I'll address that one. You can take a Sharpie and mark it, and that way you know which one needs it, and just keep checking them all. Once they feel nice and smooth like that, I will check them with a fret rocker one more time. I know this is a lot of repetition, but that's what it takes, because you can miss one here and there. And other things, like when you're recrowning, it may take a little off the top and it may make the one beside it high. So you have to keep checking and only address the ones that need it if you can. Now, if I had 6 or 8 high frets on this, I would completely level this with my sanding beam and, fret rock it. Once I got them all down so they're all even, then I would start the crowning and the polishing with micro mesh, like I said, and then move on finally to the fret eraser, and that will take care of it. Again, make sure your neck's nice and straight. This little thing that's holding the strings, it's just, it's rounded and it has a little ear that sticks out on each side, and I pull 3 strings down around that ear and 3 down around that, and that keeps them out of the way when I'm working. I don't have to take the strings off the guitar. I made this out of a piece of electrical wire, like house wire. You can buy those too, but if you're in a pinch, take a piece of wire, even a zip tie, anything, an old guitar string, tie a knot in it, whatever whatever you got to do. But it's just a lot easier for me to do it that way. Then I get the strings out of the way and I can work like I need to. So this one's getting close. It does need a little bit more TLC and some polishing. I haven't gone through the complete process with it. I actually did shoot a video while I was doing it, but somehow I got some kind of odd background noise, and I couldn't really use it, so that's why I'm shooting this video. Well, anyway, folks, kind of a neat guitar, like I said. Here's the original case, too. Look how clean this thing is. Let's unlatch it. Very clean. This guitar, like I said, has not been played hardly at all, if any. I mean, there's a little bit of play wear here, but not much. The frets had no dings, divots from playing. So this guitar basically sat in a closet in the case, from what I can tell. It looks to be 100% original. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Like I said, if you find one that's unplayed like this, pretty much speaks volumes that they didn't modify it or do anything else to it. I mean, if you're not going to play it, you're certainly not going to spend money modifying it. So thanks again, folks, for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. I hope this info helps. I know you guys have probably seen me do this many times already, but I still think it's good to share. There's people that do subscribe to the channel pretty much daily, so they might miss some of the other videos, which you can always go back into my channel and go on my playlists, go on to guitar repairs, and find this info. I have everything kind of sectioned out into categories like guitar repairs, guitar demos, amp demos, guitar lessons. There's all kinds of stuff. There's over 500 videos there, so you should find some information helpful if you're looking for it. I do this pretty much every day, sometimes not every day, but lately it hasn't been a ton. I've been busy with other things, but work is starting to pile up around me, so I've been trying to address a few of these and get them back to the customers so they can enjoy them and play them as they were intended. So thanks again for watching. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys checking out my channel. Feel free to comment, and it's good to read the comment section on this channel. There's a lot of subscribers that, play guitar, a lot of older guys as well. A lot of knowledge gets passed around, so really neat stuff, and, very helpful as well. So anyways, folks, I thought I'd show you this one. I got to get back to work on it, and we're getting close. I'm going to probably finish this up today, hopefully. I would like to do a demo on it eventually. I'm waiting for a new switch for this telly I've been working on. Belongs to the same person that owns this Tokai. I pretty much rebuilt the guitar as far as new pickup, new pick guard, We've changed a few things, leveled the frets, polished them, and I was trying to get it wired up last night, and the three-way switch is no good. Took me a while to determine that, but I finally come to the conclusion that that's no good. Electrical stuff can be a nightmare sometimes. The pickup was bad in it too, so like I said, we did change the bridge pickup out as well. So, there's always some unseen hurdles you have to deal with, but we'll see if I still have this one in my possession at that time. We'll do a nice demo with both guitars and see what they sound like, and kind of go from there. All right, thanks again, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you real soon. Be good. Okie doke.